You're not the same as the photos. 1 Mr. Liang, a punch card machine. Gu Yuhuan felt that his recent WeChat was like playing a large punch-in simulator. On the first day after adding Liang Jiang, the blind date arranged by the family, he received a message. Hello, my name is Liang Jiang, and I am 1 year old when I am older than you. Gu Yuhuan. Day 2. Hello, good morning. Day 3. Hello, have you eaten? Day 4. Hello, drink plenty of hot water. Gu Yuhuan looked at WeChat, her scalp was numb, and she wondered if she was entangled by some ancient social etiquette robot. He held back for 4 days, and finally couldn't help but post on social platforms. My parents introduced me to a person, added WeChat, and said hello to me for 4 days. Does this dead straight man use me as a punch card machine? Hot comment Article 1. Congratulations, you've met the humanoid Good Morning app. Article 2. 80% of this person has written too many programs, and even sultry people have full-width symbols and a one-board and one-glance format. Gu Yuhuan. It's not impossible. He finally couldn't hold it back and replied. Hello, do you post like this every day? Do you need my cooperation to give you a sign-in map? After almost an hour, Liang Jiang replied. Sorry for boring you. Actually, I don't know how to start talking to you. Gu Yuhuan was stunned. No. Why is this person so sincere and aggrieved? Underscore 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 un. 2. You're not the same as the photo. Liang Jiang is not ugly. His photo is even quite good, with thick eyebrows and big eyes, like a straight man in engineering who will block people from the wind when it's cold, standing against the wall in a black sweatshirt, cold and calm. Seeing the real person, Gu Yuhuan was still shocked. Half a year later, Liang Jiang returned to China after completing his studies, and the two met offline for the first time, at a bookstore and cafe in the city center. Liang Jiang was wearing the same black sweatshirt in that photo, as if he was deliberately trying to let Gu Yuhuan recognize him. But he looks a little better than the photos, but his eyes are more sincere and shy than expected, like a silent big dog who has been taken out of the computer room. Gu Yuhuan looked at him with coffee, and suddenly felt that the sentence he said at the beginning, fooling you to be a year old, was really not pretending to be garlic, it was. What a fool. Liang Jiang looked nervous, and the first sentence he said was. Hello, you're so good looking today. Gu Yuhuan almost squirted out a sip of coffee. Are you clocking in again? Liang Jiang shook his head, no. I really think you're better looking than the photos. After a pause, he added, you are different from the photo. Gu Yuhuan stopped talking. He lowered his head and took a sip of his coffee, his face flushing slightly. It's not because he was praised, it's because when Liang Jiang said this, his eyes were too real. Underscore 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 un. 3. Don't punch in, hit your heart. The two began to date on and off, from bookstores, exhibitions, night markets, and later cinemas and taverns. Liang Jiang still doesn't talk much, but he always remembers Gu Yuhuan's favorite mints, carries handkerchiefs, and naturally pulls him behind him in the cold wind. Gu Yuhuan thought he was sullen, but in his heart, he was secretly happy every time because of the other party's detail offensive. Until late one night. He posted, I went out today without an umbrella and got drenched. 5 minutes later, the doorbell rang. It was Liang Jiang, standing at the door, full of moisture, carrying 2 bowls of hot porridge in his hands. Didn't you say you would leave work until 11 o'clock today? Yes, but you said you were drenched in the rain. Gu Yuhuan was speechless for a moment. He took the porridge, touched the back of the warm hand with his fingers, paused for a second, and then asked casually, why are you so clingy? Liang Jiang whispered. I don't know how to express it. Before, I would only say hello every day. Right now, I want to see you every day. Underscore 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 un. 4. I'm not a straight man. In the 3rd month after they got together, Gu Yuhuan asked him, did you know that I liked men at first? Liang Jiang nodded. And how do you? Or say hello in a serious way. Liang Jiang's tone was low and a little shy. Because you're so good looking, I'm afraid I'll show my stuff as soon as I open my mouth. Gu Yuhuan was stunned for a moment, and then smiled and bent his eyes. He took the initiative to lean over and whispered, now you can show your stuffing too. Liang Jiang raised his eyes to look at him, and finally reached out and hugged the person into his arms, his voice hoarse. Hello, Yuhuan. I want to kiss you once a day from now on. This time it's not a check-in, it's a daily necessity. 5. Proposal for shared tenancy. That night, Liang Jiang didn't leave after delivering the porridge. Gu Yuhuan asked him to stay on the sofa to sleep with, but when he fell asleep, he appeared next to the master bedroom. When did you come here? Gu Yuhuan hugged the quilt and glared at him. Liang Jiang's tone was reasonable. You kicked the quilt. I'm afraid you'll catch a cold. Gu Yuhuan didn't speak, but just moved a little more to his side, acquiescing. In the following week, Liang Jiang slept after delivery almost every day, sleeping on the sofa to the head of the master bedroom, and then sleeping in the center of the bed. On the 7th day, Liang Jiang cleaned up the kitchen and asked him in a low voice, "Can I moving in with you?" Gu Yuhuan wanted to do a tai chi. Don't you live quite close? Liang Jiang's ears were slightly red, and he said seriously, "I want to see you every day, not WeChat." Gu Yuhuan was stunned by this sentence, and finally made up for it. You used to be someone who only said hello, but now you're sultry. Liang Jiang smiled. You taught well. Underscore 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 un. 6. Run-in period. Does not exist. Gu Yuhuan originally thought that living with Liang Jiang would lead to quarrels, collapses, and be driven crazy by the sloppy life of programmers. It turned out that there was no need to run in at all, and this man corresponded to all his living habits as accurately as a high-end AI. When I get up in the morning, I have freshly brewed lemonade, the corners of toilet paper are folded and pointed, and the clothes are hung according to color, and the most exaggerated thing is that the soy milk and milk in the refrigerator are bottles on the left and right, so that he can not worry about which one to drink today. Gu Yuhuan once wondered if he had a robot. He was moved and stiff-mouthed. Are you allergic to love? Are you too involved? Liang Jiang glanced at him, and his tone was indifferent. I don't love. I'm only talking about you. Gu Yuhuan. This man's mouth is so sweet. Who teaches? Underscore 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 un. 7. Crisis in confession. There are always some waves on a sweet day. That day, Gu Yuhuan received an invitation from a design project partner, whose surname was Qin, who was the straight-ball senior he had chased him in college. During the meal, the senior joked, "You still look single now, why don't you think about me again?" Gu Yuhuan didn't think much about it, just joked among friends. But after returning home, Liang Jiang didn't speak. He didn't eat, just sat in the corner of the sofa, and his whole body was as cold as an ice sculpture. What's wrong with you? Gu Yuhuan asked. Liang Jiang didn't look at him, and only said, Am I too self-inflicted? Gu Yuhuan frowned, What are you talking about? Liang Jiang whispered, I know you liked him in the past. He's back now, and you're in touch again. I'm afraid I'm just a gap for you in the past 6 months. This is the first time Liang Jiang has spoken in such a fragile tone. Gu Yuhuan was stunned, then slowly walked in front of him, leaned over and kissed him on the forehead. Liang Jiang, I used to like others, but I never wanted to spend my life with anyone. Until you. Liang Jiang raised his eyes to look at him, with countless worries and desires hidden in his eyes. Gu Yuhuan stretched out his hand to hold him, and his tone was extremely soft and soft. You're not the gap in my relationship, it's the chapter in my life that I want to grow pages in the most. Underscore 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 un. 8. Surprise proposal. 2 weeks later. When Gu Yuhuan came home from work, there was a string of small candles on the ground at the door, extending to the balcony. On the other side of the balcony, there are arranged string lights and projection screens, and small videos they used to shoot together are being played. Liang Jiang stood there in a white shirt, holding a small square box in his hand, and whispered. Hello, my name is Liang Jiang, and I am 1 year older than you. Gu Yuhuan's eyes were red. I used to think about how to talk to you every day, but now I just want to ask you every day before I go to bed, will you wake up with me tomorrow? Gu Yuhuan, marry me, okay. Gu Yuhuan laughed and burst into tears. Okay, my Mr. Liang Jiang. You are only allowed to play my card in the future. 9. Mom and Dad's meeting day. Gu's father and mother came to visit the city from their hometown, and this was the first time Gu Yuhuan officially introduced her boyfriend. At the dinner table, the atmosphere was quieter than ever. Gu's mother tone was faintly uneasy. What did Xiao Yang study? Liang Jiang responded politely, I studied artificial intelligence, and I am currently working as a system chief engineer at Yun's Technology. Father Gu nodded, not bad. But his eyes still didn't look friendly. After a meal, Liang Jiang helped Gu's mother pick up vegetables and poured tea for Gu's father, not talking much, but behaving decently. After the meal, Gu's mother secretly grabbed Gu Yuhuan and asked in a whisper, "Are you in a stable relationship? It's not for fun, is it?" Gu Yuhuan said with a straight face, "I have never been serious with anyone in my life, this is the first time. It won't be the last." Before leaving that night, Gu's father left a sentence in a salty tone, "Other people's children are thoughtful, we have no objection. Don't do it." Gu Yuhuan, "When did I do it?" Gu's father sneered, "Since the year your mother conceived you. Underscore 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 un. 10. Who said programmers don't fall in love? Liang Jiang was kidnapped by work for 2 weeks and often traveled at night. Gu Yuhuan thought that he would neglect his feelings. But he was wrong. In the morning, there will be steamed Xiaolong Bao in advance, and there will be a message on the mobile phone every day. "Hello, keep smiling today." Occasionally, Liang Jiang would secretly send an unknown address package, which contained a piece of clothing, a pair of shoes, and a box of his favorite candy that Gu Yuhuan had inadvertently mentioned on Weibo. One day, when Gu Yuhuan came home, he saw that the tips of the shoes in the entrance were slightly crooked, and guessed that the person was back. In the living room, Liang Jiang was sleeping on the sofa, holding the mobile phone screen in one hand, and there was a photo of Gu Yuhuan inside. Gu Yuhuan smiled in a low voice and took the blanket to cover him. "This person has gone from hello to I live in my heart." Underscore 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 un. 11. Incidents and farewells. One day, the model of Gu Yuhuan's studio hyped CP hotly, implicating him. Doubts began to appear on the internet. Relying on scandals to fry popular designers? It's too low level. Didn't he already have a boyfriend? That's not good. Liang Jiang was silent when he saw it, and didn't say much. Gu Yuhuan took the initiative to issue a statement to the studio's public account. "Love is not a topic, mutual respect is a relationship. My boyfriend is Liang Jiang, a soft tech and all-round programmer, no jokes." That night, Liang Jiang posted a circle of friends. "I'm good to you because you're worthy, not because you're right." That night, he returned from a business trip, and Gu Yuhuan picked him up at the airport. The two hugged in the crowd, and their eyes were full of affection. Underscore 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 un. 12. From life to the future. The two decided to buy a new house together, decorate together, pick furniture, and write an address book. On the day of the renovation, Liang Jiang wrote a sentence on the wall with chalk. "It's the nth time in life to start over, but this time with you." The furniture is all in the style that Gu Yuhuan likes, but the door beam of the study insists on putting a wireless charging socket. In the future, when you are tired of drawing, you don't have to worry about the phone running out of power. Gu Yuhuan stared at him, and suddenly leaned over and kissed him. "Why are you so good?" Liang Jiang smiled, "I want to be a person worthy of being loved by you." Underscore 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 un. 13. The day of the wedding. Only close friends and relatives were invited to the wedding, and the venue was chosen in the lakeside chapel where they most often walked their dogs together. At the oath ceremony, Liang Jiang said, "From the first sentence of hello, I knew that I would be by your side for a long, long time, so long that you will find that you will never have to spend the holidays alone, nor do you have to carry emotions alone." Gu Yuhuan said, "You're not the same as the photos. You are too serious in the photo, and in reality, you will learn to hug, learn to be coquettish, and learn to love for me." Relatives and friends have been in turmoil. They kissed in applause and sunshine, and time seemed to slow down. Underscore 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 un. Ending our daily routine. The two moved into a new home and raised a small Shiba Inu, named Hello. Every morning when the dog wagged its tail, Liang Jiang would smile and say to it, "Hello, take good care of your buddies today." Gu Yuhuan complained, "You're not a dog father, you're a dog brother." Liang Jiang looked serious, "We are brothers, it can't rob you." In the evening, the two nested on the sofa to watch the drama. Gu Yuhuan leaned on Liang Jiang's shoulder and said, "You say, if you hadn't taken the initiative to say hello, would we still dislike each other now?" Liang Jiang stroked his hair. "I didn't think so much about it at the time, I thought you were cute and wanted to tease you." Gu Yi smiled, "Then you won't be sultry at that time." Liang Jiang, "So I say hello every day, and one day I will tease you. The two laughed together for a long time. Underscore 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 un. Postscript love that starts with hello. There is a kind of love in this world, not vigorous, but gentle and restrained. Starting with a hello, up to a good night, I'll see you tomorrow, to we'll never be apart for the rest of our lives. They have experienced from strangeness to familiarity, from temptation to trust, from lovers to family. Maybe that's how love should be. Not earth-shattering, but visible every day. And Liang Jiang and Gu Yuhuan are the most unmissable scenery in each other's lives.